Nobody taught you how to learn properly. And you might wonder, who is this guy and why is he telling me that? Don't worry, just listen to what I have to say. You were taught to memorize, how to follow instructions, to sit still, learn facts, pass the test, and then forget everything a week later. You weren't taught how to learn, you were taught how to perform. Under pressure, on command, for a grade. Not for understanding and not for mastery. And that is why right now you're probably feeling stuck. You try to start something new, coding, business, content, music, and within 2 weeks you're overwhelmed, you're doubting yourself, and you start thinking, why am I not getting it like other people? But that is not because you're lazy or slow, it's because no one taught you how to actually learn. Let me show you how it works. When most people start to learn something new, they experience a dopamine spike. It is exciting, you feel potential, and you feel like, oh, this might be it. You go on YouTube, you watch 3 videos and you feel super smart. But 5 to 10 days in, the dopamine fades. Things get hard and you're not improving as fast, and you can't tell if you're making progress or not. And that is where 99% of people fail or quit, because we associate that stuck feeling with failure. But it is not failure, it's the beginning of real learning. So here is how your brain works. Real learning happens when something is just out of reach, right? Not so easy, it's mindless, and not so hard, it's impossible, just difficult enough that it forces friction. And that friction and that thing that you avoid, that is exactly where learning happens. We've been trained to avoid that at all costs. Think about it. In school, whenever you did something wrong, you got punished, right? Red X, bad grade. Your identity was built on being right. So now, as an adult, you avoid everything that makes you feel wrong, which means you are avoiding growth. You stick to what you're already good at and then you stay average. But the people who become great at anything, they seek mistakes. They chase the moment where they get exposed, because that is the moment that they get better. So here's how to actually learn something properly. Choose depth over variety. Just choose one thing that you're interested about and then just go super deep. So if you're learning editing, for example, don't watch 10 different YouTube videos and then try to learn 3 different styles. Pick one technique and then do it 100,000 million times. Repeat with friction. Learning starts when it gets boring. That is when your brain stops chasing novelty and starts to rewire itself. For example, if you're learning sales, right? Don't just read sales books. Pick one objection and then practice responding to it in 20 different ways. With a friend, or in the mirror, or with your family. Remember, reps or repetition over theory. You also need to understand that you need to go from input to output pretty quick. Don't just consume, but you need to transform what you've learned into something actionable or concrete. So let's say if you watched a video of a certain editing style and now you feel super satisfied and now you feel like you know everything. Well, create a 15-second reel with that editing style today. So you're not lazy and you're not broken. You're just trying to grow in a system that trained you to fear failure and avoid boredom and create shortcuts. So no, nobody taught you how to learn properly, but that doesn't mean that you can't teach yourself right now. Pick one thing, do it 100 times, and you'll see what happens.